rise above in the echelons, you realize that it does come down to mindset.
A woman will appreciate you more when you're vulnerable and open.
That's bullshit.
That's
you cannot
bullshit,
be
bro.
open and vulnerable
That's
to a woman.
close-minded. That's being so small-minded.
You cannot say that. That's what I'm in a relationship and you're not.
We can learn from anybody, bro. It don't gotta be a woman or a man. That's some sexist shit.
And yes, men do need teaching from their mentors, not from the other women, because we're the leaders. Like,
Okay, so we'll agree to disagree.
no, we're not going to agree to disagree.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the PeakFlow podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest. Next to me, we have Mr. Joe Rivera.
What's up, man? I'm blessed, man. Woke up this morning, brother. We're winning.
Yeah, okay, and over here to my left, as always, we got Top G Mikey. Yo.
Yeah, you guys already know who I am. Mikey, Top G, Mikey, Pelpadon. You know what it is.
So I'm not going to lie to you guys. This was a very impromptu podcast up today. It was really kind of unexpected in a sense, right? We really wasn't planning this last week or anything. It just kind of came about. But really, it's because, just to give you guys some context, we were in the sauna together, and we just kind of was exchanging stories, I'd say. We share similar backgrounds with entrepreneurship, self-development. And so here we are because we really saw something worth sharing, a message worth sharing. So let me just start the podcast off by asking you, sir, what's your message? And, you know,
Please,
where
Joe,
you from,
man.
my brother?
Joe, man. Sir makes me feel old.
I'm playing, bro. I'm playing.
I know.
Mr. Joe.
I'm from New York, man. Born and raised. I can't hide it if I tried, man.
East New York, right?
Well, I was born in East New York, but I live in Long Island now, yeah.
What was growing up in East New York like?
Man, I grew up in the East New York in the crack era, man. It was in the 80s. And it was running rampant. And thank God.
What was it like? It was like gangsters on the street. gun
I mean,
violence.
drug dealers on the corners, you know, fucking we're playing wiffle ball and guys are running around selling drugs, doing drugs, guys getting high in the corner. It was pretty rampant, man. It was like I said, it's in the 80s, and that's when the crack era took off. And man, thank God that my mom and my aunts got us out of there. Me, my brothers and sisters, man, because if not, I might have been in jail or dead.
And like you were in a gang or?
No, I wasn't in a gang.
What do
man.
you mean by like?
I would have been dead or in jail because I would have probably ended up selling drugs or doing some stupid shit.
Caught up in the system.
Caught up in the system, man. You know, I would have been caught up.
Yeah. I could relate to what you're saying because you should know by now, like I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, and this one of the worst area. The Nimble is called Jonestown, and back when I was growing up, I see guys just walking around the street with guns in, you know, like in their waist, just showing it.
That's just normal.
It's
Right?
just
That's
normal.
like
It's just normal. And like, soccer was one of the things that actually got me out. Actually made me just try to be something better. Cause without soccer, like I could see myself being caught up in the system. You know, so.
How did you find your way out? Like, what was your soccer? What was your? How did you get from there to like Long Island now?
So, I mean, look, man, I still ended up in the system, just in a different light. You know what I mean? And when we moved to Long Island, you know, I was like the first minority on the block. You know what I mean? I moved into like an Italian neighborhood. So growing up, you know, I ended up going to school and I was being called the N-word. You know what I mean? And then but those kids that ended up calling me the N-word, I ended up becoming real close friends with them growing up, and they become childhood friends.
What's your background?
I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Nice.
You know, and growing up, you know, my mom played both roles. She was the mother and father. She was the jack of all trades. She was my everything, my best friend. I ended up fucking around with drugs and alcohol at an early age, like 13 years old. And I barely got through high school by the skin of my teeth. Everybody graduated in June. I graduated in October because I was out there getting high, smoking weed, drinking, dealing with the girls in high school. Wow. And I'm already drugs and alcohol, but I don't, you know, I'm not thinking anything of it. So I barely got through high school, and then when I went to college for one semester, Nassau Community College, and I was partying. I don't even think I made it to one class.
Like, why did you choose to go to college? If you could barely make it out of high school.
Wait, I'm confused. So you say you failed off high school and everything, and things was not going well. How did you even manage to get to college? What was
So
that?
I barely got through high school.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, you're going to go to college and you're going to do something with yourself. Because back then, you know, my family came up and it was go to college. You need college to be successful, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm following the upbringing. I'm following the limited beliefs, right? But I don't know it's a limited belief. And so I'm like, all right, I need college in order to be successful. But I wasn't ready for no college. I'm out there partying. I didn't even make it to one class. So I dropped out of college after one semester.
I'm sorry. Do you think people need college?
No. I don't believe that.
How about high school? Like, what's the furthest degree of education do people need?
So you passed the Series 7?
I passed the Series 7, third hardest test in the country. But little did I know that, you know, there was a whole nother path that was going to happen. And I went from Park Avenue to Park Bench. I was emotionally, financially, and spiritually bankrupt. I lost everything. I even almost lost my life.
How's that?
What do you mean by that?
I had my dream job in the financial industry as a stockbroker. Early 2000s, I'm 25 years old, making 7 figures a year. I should feel like I'm on top of the world at this point. But 7 figures a year? Nah, that ain't good enough. Because I live in a world with a belief system of never enough. I want more. I want 8 figures, 9 figures. I'm living that fast life. And at this point in my life, being spiritually bankrupt, money's the only higher power that I know. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make more money. I'm putting in late nights at the office one evening. And this dude, we call him Johnny Connect. We call him that because he had the connections to get his hands on anything you could imagine. Keep in mind, we're in New York. So this dude swore that he's part of the mafia. He sits down at my desk and he says, hey, Joe, you think you're a top producer now? Take this little round pill and forget about it. You're going to produce even more. Wall Street is also known as Drug Street. Everyone's doing some kind of drug. I'm already smoking weed, drinking, or having some kind of mind-altering substance in my body every single day for the past 10 years at that point. So I said, fuck it, why not? And that's when I got introduced to opiates.
What's that?
Opiates.
A super hardcore drug.
So, and that's when my battle with substance abuse takes off to the next level.
Because it was like painkillers for you?
Painkillers.
But you was making like 7 figures already. What pain were you experiencing? You said spiritual.
He told me I was going to produce more. I was living that fast life.
You want them
I
more.
want more money.
You want them more.
Right? And that's when my life, my substance, it took off to the next level, right? My life went dark. My mom passed away, and it went upside down and became completely unmanageable. I'm risking my life every single day. I overdosed twice. The last time, it took 6 cans of Narcan to bring me back to life. 6 fucking cans of Narcan. That same night, I'm laying in the hospital bed. I wake up. I pull the EKG electrodes off my body. Leave the hospital against medical advice. And then when I get outside, fellas, it's the middle of winter. I'm in a hospital gown, shivering, looking like a crackhead like Pookie from New Jack City because of all the opiates that were being taken out of my system. And the first thing that I do, I go call the dealer again to go get high.
When was this? Like, how old were you? How many years ago?
Back, my mom passed away in 26, like 9 years ago.
You was making 7 figures.
9 years ago.
That's enough money for a lot of people. Like, what inspired? Like, what was pushing you to want to make more?
What was that thought process like?
I lived the fast life. I wanted more. I lived in a world with a belief system of never enough.
Like, just wanted more for no reason, right?
I wanted more because I wanted to. I was
More what,
always
though?
ambitious.
More money.
More money.
For
More
just
money.
like,
It was never enough. There was no such thing.
what was that money gonna do for you in terms of like where you gonna get? You just
Dude, I was in my 20s. I'm 25 years old.
Like,
25 years old. I mean, 7 figures now. I'm
still 27. I want to make money for like traveling experiences
Yeah, like
and
you had
freedom.
no
like
end
I
goal,
kind of.
like just
What
wanna
was
make
the
it.
end goal?
It's
Just for a number on the bank
it's
account?
It's a different mindset, right? I'm there with other people who are making 7, 8 figures. So you want to keep competing with the other people in the office.
Okay, so you're competing against the
Competition, of
number.
course.
The
Yeah,
number. You're just competing against literally number.
Competing and wanting more. So a week after the overdoses, my sister invites me for an event. And at that event, I don't remember exactly what it was, but something clicked. I looked at my sister, she looked at me, and we both started crying. I mean, she knew exactly what I was going to say. And then the words came out. The words my family's waiting to hear for over a decade. I said, I don't want to do this anymore, sis. I'm a shell of my true self. I'm tired of writing my obituary. I want to begin creating my legacy again. After that, I made the biggest decision of my life to achieve sobriety. And after achieving sobriety, I was able to build another 7-figure business in the financial industry. And even though I was crushing it and living this incredible life, something was missing. And God kept nudging at me and pulling at me, telling me that my journey's not complete, that I had more to accomplish in life. And for years, after achieving sobriety, for the first couple of years, I'm asking God, because I was born and raised Catholic, but along the way, I completely lost my way. I didn't even know what a relationship with God was. I thought it was just saying Our Father, Hail Mary, and asking for forgiveness when necessary. But for years, but through this journey, I've been able to build a relationship, and I learned the difference between religion and spirituality. And I learned to build a relationship with God, where today he's my mother, my father, my uncle, my best friend, my everything. And for years, I'm asking him, I'm saying, dude, how do I give this back to you? I can't give it back to you in a physical form. You don't exist physically. There's not enough thank yous in the world for me to express my gratitude for you saving my life. Not just the 2 times that I overdosed. What about all those times that I drove home and I don't remember how I got home? Those aren't coincidences. Those are God incidences. You saved my life for a reason. How do I give this back?
Sorry to interrupt. I have a quick question. What was the message, or how did you receive that communication from God or the universe? Like you said that there were many times, you built a relationship with him. Yeah. You're speaking. What was that communication channel for you? Like, how did you get the message?
So I learned to build a relationship with God where I'm in dialogue with him throughout the day.
Okay.
I'm in dialogue throughout the day. Man, thank God for Bluetooth, because if we didn't have it, people would think I'm crazy in my car talking to myself. You know what I mean? But I've learned to build a relationship where I'm able to talk to him and like I'm talking to I'm talking to one of my friends, like I'm talking to my parent. And when I'm able to sit with myself, because I've learned to be able to be comfortable with sitting with myself now, you know what I mean, throughout this journey, I'm able to really listen and tap in and pay attention to the signs that he gives me. My signs are going to be different than your signs, because you have your own relationship with your higher source, right? So I've learned to be able to sit still, pay attention, and feel and listen when he's talking back to me, and pay attention to those signs. So as I'm asking him, how do I give this back? He's like, just go share your message. Go share your story. Your story doesn't belong to you. If you hold your story in, you're being selfish for what I did for you. I'm like, man, I refuse to be selfish after he saved my life. So that's when I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not going to argue with this, because I'm never going to win. He's going to win 10 times over. So that's when I decided to build my speaking and coaching platform. Man, let me tell you, there's no drug, no alcohol will ever give me that euphoric feeling that I get when I'm able to empower someone to transform their life. That's the gift that keeps on giving. That's where I was able to find my purpose. And that's why my mission is to empower business owners and leaders around the world to overcome their limitations so that they could live in purpose and close the gap between spirituality and true wealth.
That's amazing. That's a great message. I think a lot of people watching can resonate with that message right now. Some questions that came upon my head is, I'm trying to figure out the difference between when you were at, I believe, the brokerage industry, you're making 7 figures a year, and then you say you felt very spiritually absent, didn't really have much of that, and then you were able to see signs and to find your purpose and share. What was that bottom of the bottom? What did it look like? Was it kind of like what we would imagine, like movie scenes where you just wake up, it's like highest priority is like get the high, and then make money? Like, what was that bottom like how did you know that was your rock bottom?
I mean, shit, I almost died. I almost lost my life. I almost wasn't able to see my family again.
From the drugs?
I overdosed twice. 6 cans of Narcan. That was my bottom, bro. That was my bottom. Life being unmanageable, losing everything, and then almost losing my life. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. I knew I didn't want to live like that no more. And that's when I made the biggest decision I made in my life.
So what would you say now is like the biggest difference from back then? Is it like lifestyle changes? Is it perspective? What's the difference? Because for someone that can resonate with your story as much as they can, maybe they're in the brokerage industry right now and they're feeling hopeless, and they see you and you're taking a leap of faith and you're going after, and you're feeling so much more driven and purposeful. How does one apply this to them right now?
First and foremost, the most important piece to my journey and my success and my sobriety and my life is my relationship with my higher source that I call God. And I think for anyone to unlock their fullest potential, you got to tap into something. You don't want to call it God. You want to call it the universe, the infinite
source.
Intelligence, the source. You want to call it the tree that's outside, whatever works for you. But realizing that there's something greater than yourself out there that's going to bring you to unlock your fullest potential. That's first and foremost. And also here, man, here. Because what I learned was putting the drugs and alcohol down. Shit, that's the easy part. I had to change my attitude and behaviors. I had to really peel back that onion and take stock of who I was. I had to do the daily inventory. I had to change the way my thought process was. And I had to realize that I'm not a victim of my circumstances and conditions. They don't control my life. I control my own destiny, right? So I had to really do that work, because that's where the real work is, right? The reason why people are so scared to change is because they're scared to do the fucking work. It takes work to change. It's not an overnight success. This ride to success isn't a straight line to the top. Guess what? There's going to be bumps in the road. It's going to get fucked up. But you got to learn how to navigate through those bumps in the road, because they're going to be there, right? And the reason why so many people, not just in the brokerage industry, people with money, right? Successful people, some of the ultra successful people in the world could have all the money in the world, but they're empty inside. Why? Because something's missing. We've seen it for years, right? I mean, Robin Williams, Michael Jackson, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley. That's just to name the famous people. What about all the billionaires out there that are just the average Joe? They're not famous, right? What about them? There's so many. They're jumping out windows, taking their lives. Why? Because something's missing. It's the spiritual component. You can't create true wealth emotionally, financially, and spiritually without the spiritual component. It's impossible. You won't be able to reach self-fulfillment without that spiritual component.
At what age did you tap into it, or just started getting into the know of your spirituality?
When I got sober.
When was that?
About 9 years ago.
Okay.
When my mom passed away. Right after my mom passed away.
What happened?
What happened with what?
Like, you were overdosed on drugs. You're in the hospital bed, and then
I overdosed on
mom.
Overdosed on drugs, and when I went to go get help, I ended up going to a place, upstate New York, and man, there was something on that mountain that was undeniable, and at that place I started doing the work. Started doing the work on myself, and I started to learn to build the relationship, and it started in small steps, right? I started with 1 to 2 minutes a day of gratitude, sitting with myself for 5 minutes a day, opening up the dialogue for 5-10 minutes a day. And now today, I mean, there's days where my gratitude moments last 45 minutes because I got so much to be thankful for, and the dialogue continues throughout the whole day.
So, like, what message would you have for someone who have, like, drinking problem, who just cannot stop drinking?
Go get help. Go get help. You're not going to do it by yourself. You got to have a supporting cast. Think about all the great ones in any business and anything. When a business reaches their fullest potential, they're not doing it alone. There's a supporting cast. Same thing when you want to achieve sobriety, right? You got to have a supporting cast, because I remember when I got sober, I had to build a support network. I went to places where I could find other people who were sober and connected with them and found out what steps they took to get sober and stay sober. When I built another 7-figure business, I surrounded myself with other people who were multimillionaires and connected with them and found out what steps they took to build their business to a multi-million-dollar business.
And what was those steps?
It's first of all, it's you gotta realize that you don't have to do it by yourself.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's a big problem that a lot of entrepreneurs have, right? The ego gets in the way. You got to remove the ego.
I can see that.
If you want to be successful, you got to remove that ego, right? And you can't try to do it all at once. You got to take small steps, right? One day at a time, one step at a time. Break it up into pieces, your goals. Don't just try to accomplish the whole goal. Take it in pieces. Like I said, that ride to success, it ain't a quick ride. You're going to go through the bumps in the road. It's the same thing with your goals. You got to take small steps to achieve the big goal.
I think the one commonality that we could all share, because me, I'm a business owner. Mikey's also an entrepreneur. I think we all share that commonality. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Like, business is very much self-development. And as you rise above in the echelons, you realize that it does come down to mindset. It does come down to self-development, knowing of self, and really getting to be in tune with the thoughts that be. And my question for you now is, since we all have this commonality of being, with ourselves, what are your thoughts on Neuralink and then having a communication technology like Elon Musk putting a chip in our brain and disrupting whatever you're calling the spiritual? What are your thoughts on that? You seem like...
I don't know what you seem like. I own some Neuralink.
Oh,
I own some Neuralink. I think Elon's on something there. I think it's incredible what he's doing to be able to help someone who might be paraplegic, blind, and be able to use senses that they've never been able to use before. I don't know if everybody realizes how much of a game changer that could be. I hope it is, because I own it. I don't own the company, but I own shares, and I think what he's doing is great. I mean, and the guy's a winner, so you want to follow a winner, which is another way to be able to create success in your life. You want to follow the steps of people who have done what you're looking to do, right? You want to make sure that you get yourself a mentor.
Well, then my question is, do you think Elon Musk is happy?
I don't know. I haven't coached him yet.
Oh. You think you could coach Elon Musk?
I got to coach Elon Musk to tell you if he's happy. I don't know.
Well, because we were just talking about how, a lot of people, you said at the top, though they might have a lot of financial wealth, feel empty, right? And so my question is, what are your thoughts on Elon? So because he has hit monumental amounts of success,
yeah, but
spiritually, wouldn't the argument be that he's disrupting the connection with yourself because you're adding in a human-made technology into the human biology?
I mean, dude, that's a loaded question. That's a loaded question because he's also helping people who have never been able to do something they've been able to do before. So it depends how you're looking at it, right? And I can't answer if Elon's happy or not. I don't know. We don't know. And when I said that, and let me just be clear. I'm not saying that people who have money are not happy, because guess what, bro? I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been broke and I have money. And I'd much rather have money the way I do now than be broke the way I was. 1,000%. What I'm saying is, if you don't have the spiritual component tied in, you're not reaching self-fulfillment.
How does one get that spiritual entanglement?
You got to build a relationship. And remember, spirituality, it's about having a higher source involved. I call it God. Having a higher source involved that you realize could help you to unlock your fullest potential. It's greater than yourself. But spirituality is also about walking and living in your purpose. Mm-hmm. Are you waking up and dreading waking up every morning? Or is your higher source waking you up and saying, get your ass out of bed because it's time to go walk and live in your purpose, and you don't even need that alarm clock because you're waking up because it's your purpose? That's spirituality, right? So people get this whole misconception about spirituality and comparing it to religion, and it's not. It's two different worlds. It's not about religion, right? So that's the big misconception out there, right? Like, you can't have spirituality and make a lot of money at the same time, right? Because money's the root of evil. Fucking biggest limited belief I've ever heard, right? And it's so the opposite though, because the more spiritually connected you are, the more abundance you have in your life, the more doors open and mountains get moved. When you have that spiritual component in place.
Do you wake up feeling like this every morning? You just wake up and it's like 4:30 a.m. and you're just like rah, like I'm feeling 100.
I mean, I'm at the gym. You see me at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That is absolutely amazing.
I mean, listen, Is every day perfect? No, of course not, man. I'm human just like everybody else, you know. But being able to control my emotions, right, and being able to also control my thoughts, because you mentioned something about thoughts earlier, right? And thoughts, our mind is the most powerful tool we've been blessed with.
Powerful,
right? Our thoughts become our emotions and feelings. Those emotions and feelings become our reaction, and that reaction becomes your result. So you control what your day's gonna be like. I think, well, who was it? I was listening to a podcast with Deion Sanders the other day. I think it was on the Ed Milet show, and
I love Ed Milet.
Yeah, me too. He's awesome.
One step.
Yeah,
From one, just one.
One more. And Deion said, "I never have a bad day." He's like, "I might have bad moments, but a bad day? No, because I control what my day's gonna be like." And it's so true. Like, we control what our outcome is gonna be, and it all starts up here. It all starts in the mind.
Do you think everyone can take control of their own life, like take control of their own destinies and lives?
I think
everyone has.
I think everyone has the potential to. Will everyone do it? No, because some people are stronger up here than others, right? And they won't be able to do it. Another example, I was listening to Tim Grover. Tim Grover's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's coach. And he was doing an interview, and he said, they asked him, who was Michael Jordan and Kobe, did they have the best skill set out of anybody you've ever coached? He's like, no. He said, no. He said, there's been people who had more talent, way more talent than Kobe and Mike. But Kobe and Mike had the work ethic, and they had the mindset, is what made them the greatest.
Do you think that mindset of obsession at that highest level, where it's like you just sacrifice everything, do you think that's a healthy mindset? Because I'm going back to where you said back then when you were in the brokerage and it's never enough, never enough, never enough. I could relate to that. I think a lot of people can relate to that. What do you think about that? Is that Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan level of obsession?
Yes, if you understand how to control it and you don't allow it to control you, you could have the ambition of taking over the world and making all the money you want. But are you allowing that money to control you? What are you doing with that money? Is that money working you, or are you working the money? Right? Are you giving back to your community? Are you helping people? Are you being of service? Are you living in your purpose? What are you doing?
So what were you doing with your money when you're in the brokerage making the 7 figures? What were you doing with money?
Drugs,
was it just
alcohol, partying,
straight, just
traveling. You know, I was living the life I thought I was living. You know, I was crushing the game.
That sounds pretty lit, bro.
It sounds pretty lit, but not when you're doing it in an unmanageable way. Where you know, you're doing things. This, first of all, there's nothing cool about getting lit. I mean, drugs and alcohol is not cool.
100%.
That's not cool, right? And a lot of the money went towards that. I mean, I probably spent millions of dollars on drugs and alcohol, without a doubt.
Damn.
But you know, I spent millions of dollars at the casinos. I spent millions of dollars going on trips. You know, so it's life was just out of control, man. It wasn't a way to live life. And then the spiritually bankrupt part. So my higher power at that moment, being money. That's what I was answering to. It's not a way to live life, man. There's a better way to live life. You know, where you don't feel stuck in a job and you create your own success and your own destiny. When you create that fulfillment, that's when you're living in purpose. And that's when you start really closing that gap between spirituality and true wealth. Because I believe that living in purpose does help you close that gap.
I think there's also a misconception as well. A lot of people like to equate money to a inherent value, but money in itself is a transfer of energy. Because back then, if you want to maybe get like another farmer's cow and you had some pigs and horses to trade, you'd be trading stuff. It's the transaction of value. Many people don't know that wealth is actually a huge transfer of energy. For you to amass large amounts of wealth, you need to be able to, like you said, harness large amounts of energy. Yeah. That being said, do you think having any female companions help with your spiritual enlightenments? Do you think, what are your thoughts on relationship, and were you able to have any significant help along the way in terms of that?
I think that if you're not spiritually fit and you're not in tune with yourself, you won't be able to survive a long-term relationship and be happy and be successful with it. Because, man, listen, if you ain't happy with yourself, how are you going to make somebody else happy? If you're not taking care of yourself, how are you going to take care of a family? So I think it all connects. You know, I think that you have to be the best version of yourself, spiritual, emotional, financial. They all connect. And then that's when you can give to the relationships in your life, whatever relationship it is, a relationship with a significant other, a relationship with a business partner, a relationship with your children, whatever, your mother, you know, your father, whatever it is.
Do you got a girlfriend right now?
No.
No? Before, when you was...
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 kids. So, of course, yeah,
Okay.
I've had, yeah.
Like, what role she played in your life? And, like, why you want her not together right now?
There wasn't one. I was with women.
Multiple.
I was 25 years old, making fucking 7 figures a year, bro. I wasn't thinking about marriage. I didn't care about that.
What's your relationship with the baby mama right now?
Oh, we got a great relationship. I got a great relationship with my kids' moms. You know, we're good friends. Took a while to get there. It didn't happen overnight, but we got a good relationship. And I've always had a good relationship with my kids. Even when I was fucked up, I still, you know, I've had a good relationship. I was always, you know, played my role as a father.
Nice. Like, where's, like, the disconnect between you and the mother of your kids?
Now there is no disconnect. We have a great relationship.
Just not, like just don't want to be involved with her?
Dude, I mean, you know, you grow away from each other sometimes. You know, we met at a time when it was meant for us to make a child together, but it wasn't made for us to be married and have kids and have a life like that together. I love my kids' moms. I love them both, but I wouldn't, you know, that they're not the woman that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. I don't dwell on shit like that, man. I don't dwell on that.
Who would you say could be that woman to spend the rest of your life with you? Like, what quality
What does she look like?
have to have?
What does she look like?
I mean, I think that what she has inside is more valuable than what she looks like, right? Don't get me wrong. I want a good-looking woman. I'm not
Right.
But I'm
Like,
just saying
like,
what she is
describe her,
inside.
like-
What she
Yeah,
is
I meant,
inside.
like, what does she look like?
She's got to have...
Yes.
Nah, you don't want me to give it a
Nah,
visual
we
on this
want you to
podcast.
give her a
don't want
visual.
the
For, like,
body.
For the audience.
For the audience. Give us
No,
a visual.
So listen,
As her
you know,
titties.
she's spiritually fit. She's physically fit.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to be heavy into personal development because that's my world. And family oriented.
So like my next question for you is, do you think a woman like that is out there?
Of course.
Where? You said of course, so where?
I don't have that answer, bro. Only one source has that answer. It's the one upstairs. He'll tell me when it's time.
Because in my personal experience, most women who have all those qualities that you're looking for is either taken by someone else, or you just have to build one. You just have to find one.
Nah, they're out there, bro. You're looking in the wrong places. You ain't gonna find the one you want to spend the rest of your life with at a bar.
So where are you gonna find them? That's what I'm asking you. Where?
Go to personal development events. Grow your mind, and then grow your relationship.
But even there, like, you won't find the one that you're exactly the match that you just described. Like, you won't find her there. You have to actually, like, teach her some of the qualities that you want her to.
That's a limited belief you have. You got to
why is
crack
that?
through that limited belief because
That's a limited belief,
you're
bro.
saying that woman doesn't exist.
Yes.
You're assuming that. You don't know that. You haven't. Have you met all the billions of women that are in the world?
Well,
you met all of them?
Have you?
No, I haven't.
okay,
That's why
okay.
I know that there's one out there.
Okay, but
There's one out there.
Okay, if there's one out there, like, why aren't you with one right now?
Right now, I'm focusing on myself and my business. I've been in a relationship, you know, recently, and it just didn't work out, you know. But that's just right now. I'm
What was the
focusing.
issue in the relationship that didn't
Communication. Communication is really important. You know, it's vital in any relationship, and there was a lack there. So, and I'm also the type that I'm not going to settle in life. You know what I mean? If something's doesn't serve me and serve what I'm doing, then I'm not going to allow it to take up my space and my peace in my life. You know what I mean?
And I totally agree to that. So
Yeah.
going back to limited belief. I don't believe I have limited belief. I just know that, females, they're, how do I say it? They're not perfect.
There's no such thing as perfect. I'm not looking for perfect.
Exactly.
No, I'm not looking for perfect. But I know what I'm looking for, and if our core values aren't aligned, then it's not going to work.
What? Okay, give me an example of like a core value.
Spirituality.
What else?
Family.
What else?
Gratitude.
Okay, and those are the core values, right?
Right.
And I'll say most women not most, but some women have those core values. So if you could find one of the bunch with those core values and then teach her your way, that's your perfect woman.
Yeah, but see, you can't force someone to be something they're not.
It's not forcing.
Because you're talking about teaching someone. If they don't want to be taught or they don't want to, that's not aligned with who they are.
Every woman needs teaching.
All right, this is a whole nother. I'm not going to do that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
What
with
are your
that.
thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on it?
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that there's got to be a level of communication where it's because you're saying every woman needs teaching.
Yes.
Guess what, bro? Every man needs teaching too.
Yeah, that's
every
true.
man needs to be taught too. I grew up with a bunch of women, bro.
I think every man do need a mentor. Like that, I could agree to.
Every man do need teaching as well.
Every man needs teaching about a relationship.
Yeah,
because you're talking about just one way. You got to teach the woman to work with you. Nah,
Yes.
it's got to connect, bro. It's got to connect. There's got to be it's got to be a two-way street, not a one-way street.
Two-way street in what regards though?
A two-way street in both learning how to grow with each other.
I mean, to a certain extent, but I think as a man, you should always be the leader. As a man, you should always know where you want to head. And your supporting cast, which is your woman, is supposed to follow your lead. And I think most guys don't know this. And what you said about men need teaching, yes, men do need teaching from their mentors, not from the other women, because we're the leaders. That's why.
But you're looking at it the wrong way. I'm not saying to follow a woman's lead.
So what are you saying?
I'm not saying that a man's not supposed to be a leader.
Yes.
I'm saying that you could learn bits and pieces about how to be successful in a relationship from a woman also.
Like what?
It don't have to be just about what you want. It has to be what both of you want to be able to work.
But like,
you're talking about a man leading, a man providing. Yeah, the Bible says all that. We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to be providers. But that doesn't mean we can't learn from the woman.
Like, what could a woman teach you?
A woman could teach you how to be more affectionate. A woman could teach you how to not be so aggressive with certain things that you have going on. A woman could teach you how to communicate better. We can learn from anybody, bro. It don't got to be a woman or a man. That's some sexist shit.
No, not like I disagree. Like,
okay, so we'll agree to disagree.
No, we're not going to agree to disagree, because I think that's probably one of the issues that we do face in society these days, of how men be making women lead them the wrong way and then end up being in a position that they don't want to end up being. For example, like the other day I was driving with my girl, and she told me to turn right. I turned right, and guess what? I was supposed to turn left. Like, do you know what she said to me?
Oh, she gave you wrong directions?
She gave me like. Do you know what she said to me?
What did she say?
She said to me, "Well, listen to me. You're the one who's driving."
She did not say that.
That's just and I understand what you're saying. I'm not sexist. Like, I'm just saying a man should always take full responsibility of anything. Like, I'm not saying I'm not saying being a dickhead and ignore your woman or ignore her feelings. Obviously, that's not what I'm trying to get across. But like, what I'm trying to get across is man should always be the leader. You understand?
But we're not saying that he shouldn't. Not one of us has said that here. I didn't say that man shouldn't be a leader.
Okay, so
I think you should be a leader.
Let me try to rephrase it. What I'm trying to say is, be careful of what direction like a woman try to lead you, or just be careful of what direction she try to lead you, because you will go the wrong way.
Okay. I mean, listen, that's your opinion, bro. You're entitled to your own opinion, brother. I appreciate your opinion. I don't agree with that, but that's fine. It's okay.
Do you think, what are your thoughts on, let's say, let's go back to like a little financials, right? What are your thoughts on women making more money than men? Normal, fine.
I mean,
should a woman sacrifice the family at home and go pursue her career?
I think that everyone should follow their dreams.
Right.
I think that everyone should not.
So if both mom and dad go, and then what about the children? Public school? But you just said
Public
you don't
school?
you don't love traditional school system though.
No, I never said I don't love traditional school system. I said that I don't believe that you have to finish college to be successful.
Right.
And that we've seen people who haven't even finished high school that have been successful. Look at Oprah Winfrey, one of the most successful women in the world. She didn't even finish high school, right? But what I'm saying is that I don't think that anybody should sell themselves short of their dream, man or woman. And I think that there's room for both to be successful. Shit, if my woman's making more money than me, that's gonna strive me to get on my grind even more. And I'm gonna want to go out there and make more money. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, go get the bag, baby. Go get the bag. Yeah, go get the grind.
So would you be like a stay-at-home dad if your woman's...
Fuck no.
No.
So who would take care of like
A nanny.
Oh yeah, because you guys making money.
Family,
you guys
you're making money. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that, plenty of people. It don't gotta be the woman stays home, barefoot and pregnant, cooks and cleans. Those days are over, bro. We're fucking in the year 2024, going into 2025. Women have the right to be successful just like a man.
So, like, do you believe in 50-50?
What do you mean by 50-50?
Like, you pay half the bills, your woman pay half the bills?
I don't believe in 50-50, but I don't not believe in 50-50. I mean,
expound on what does that mean?
Because it depends on the relationship and who's in the relationship and what. Me personally, I'm a provider. I enjoy providing. I enjoy giving. You know what I mean? So I don't count the pennies when we're at the fucking table paying a bill.
I pay
the
making
bill.
7 figures.
You know what I mean?
Not.
Yeah.
Saying,
that's
like,
not for me.
Like, how about the saying, his money is her money and her money is her money? Like, how about that saying?
That's bullshit. That shouldn't be like that. It's got to be a two-way street, bro. It's got to
What
be
do
a
you
two-way
believe
street. I believe in what's mine is ours. What's yours is ours too.
I believe in all the money is my money, and I'll give her what I want out of the money that we're making. That's what I believe. So, for example, if I'm making $200K a year and she's making $300K a year, we're making $500K. The whole $500K is my money, and I'll give her a portion for her little shopping needs. That's what I believe in.
God bless you, brother.
Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that
Call him a misogynist.
Huh?
Call him a misogynist.
Nah, I
No,
mean,
like I want to hear his thoughts on that.
That's not for me, bro. You know what I mean? I believe in two-way streets.
Okay, but like, it's not for you. Like, you're saying it's not for you because you probably, well, I don't really know if you've been in a situation where you're in a long-term relationship with a woman and she just on the spending spree and just don't know when to stop. Because I think
You've been with some, yeah. I mean, listen, you learn from your mistakes, I guess, right?
It's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the audience out there do have a woman who you just
Girls love spending.
That's assuming.
I'm not assuming. Like, guys tell me. Like, I know a lot of guys face that issue. They with a woman, this don't know when to spend, especially holiday season. Just want to spend. When does it stop?
Yeah, but you got to look at both sides, bro. All right, there's a woman that's out there that's like that, but then there's a dude out there that's out there beating the shit out of his girl, doing the wrong thing, cheating on his girl, doing her dirty.
Yes.
Right? So it goes both ways.
That
man.
is true, but like, we're not talking about that side. Like,
but
if a woman end up with a guy like that, then that's just natural selection.
And if a guy ends up with a woman like that, that's his selection too.
No,
you
like,
have a choice,
if
brother.
a guy end up with a woman like that, that's his fucking fault. Because he's a man.
That's exactly what I just said. Yeah. If a guy ends up with a woman like that, that's his fault. If a woman ends up with a guy that was just explaining, it's her fault also.
To me, it's always the fucking guy's fault because he has the power to change shit. And if not, he shouldn't be with that woman.
Well, so you're saying the woman doesn't have power to change it?
Like a woman, she's just unlucky to me. She's just unlucky. It's just natural selection. A man, he has the opportunity to teach her his ways from the get-go. Like, he has that power because he's a man. Like, we have, like, and it's the same with great power comes with great responsibility, right? So a man has that power. He has that power to change certain things in his life. So, yeah. and that's why I personally think that men are the prize. Because no, that's the truth. Like, men are the prize.
Hey, listen,
because
we're the creators, like he said.
We're the creators.
Yeah, listen.
Creators, providers, we know how to make money. We know how to fight. We're strong enough to help ourselves. Women, they can't fucking help themselves.
Every king needs a strong queen. Bro.
Oh, I totally agree.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Like, every king needs a strong queen. That's why the queen that's beside of me, she's going to be a strong queen because she's going to be learning from me the best.
There you go. Hey, listen, that's what's up, man. I'm happy for you that you have that works for you. You know what I'm saying?
No, like I think most men should listen, because we going into a society right now where you see male depression and man committing suicide.
But that's not because of the woman. That's because a lot of men are afraid to ask for help.
That is true.
That's the biggest part, because they.
Well, why do they need help in the first place?
Because they allow the ego to get in the way. Why do they need help? He just said they're depressed. Whatever it is you need help in, there's a million reasons, right? You're depressed. You're struggling with drugs and alcohol. You're struggling with women. You're struggling with your job. I mean, there's so many different ways that a man could be struggling. But guess what? They're afraid to ask for help. I mean, we grew up in an era where it's you're weak if you ask for help, right? I did, right? Like, men aren't supposed to go and seek therapy. Men aren't supposed to say, men aren't supposed to cry. It's all bullshit.
I agree. That's why brotherhood is so important.
Yeah, of course.
You're always supposed to have like a brotherhood. And then if any man out there, if you have any problems, don't run to your girl and be a little sissy and tell her all your problems. Don't do that shit. I don't give a fuck what anyone tell you. Do not complain to your woman. She gonna look at you as
weaker,
worse than weaker. She's gonna look at you like a scumbag. Don't do that. Find you a brother. Find you a network. Just find your fraternity who come to PeakFlow.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay. I mean, listen, man. The one thing I will agree 100% is don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
At all. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, it doesn't make you weak when you ask for help. But I also don't agree with not being able to talk to your significant other.
Yes.
You should be able to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is real, and it's powerful.
And I say that's completely bullshit. I don't think you should run to your woman with
I didn't say to run to your woman. What I'm saying is to be open and vulnerable.
No, you cannot do that to a woman.
Is a trait.
You cannot, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because women are very emotional, and they'll wait till a time that you watch your lowest.
You got a lot to learn, bro. 28 years old. You got a lot to learn. You think you got all the answers about that relationship?
I don't think I have all the options.
There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable and open with a woman. A woman will appreciate you more when you're vulnerable and open. It's a fact. If you put 100 girls in a room and you ask all of them, would you rather a man that's vulnerable and open with you, or would you rather a man that doesn't tell you anything, holds everything in, and only talks to his boys? 100% of those women, or 99%, because there's no such thing as 100%,
I agree.
will say that they want you to be open and vulnerable. And statistics show that a relationship lasts longer when both parties are vulnerable and open.
That's bullshit. First of all, I agree that all women would agree to that, because that's what women do. Like, women say shit that they don't mean all the fucking time. They just say it because it's like it's a feeling for them. They just want to say it.
Right, dude, this is turning into like a woman versus man podcast, and that's not what I signed up for. So could we go to something else?
I mean, we're just having a conversation.
But this is these are core values.
Like these are core values.
This is your core value versus his core value. Is what I'm saying.
So, because I mean, I'm not a relationship expert, so I'm not going to sign up as a relationship expert. You know what I mean? I'm giving you an opinion, and I just think that it's wrong to say that you don't go to your woman and be open and vulnerable. That's
you cannot
bullshit,
be
bro.
open and vulnerable.
That's closed-minded. That's being so small-minded.
You cannot say that. That's why I'm in a relationship and you're not. Like
dude, you're 28 years old,
and
bro.
What? Like,
you think you're gonna marry the woman you're with? You don't even know, bro.
I am gonna
you don't
marry
know
her.
fucking. What are you saying? What are you saying? That's the reason you're in a relationship, because your relationship is gonna last because you don't run to your girl and talk to her about and being open and honest.
My relationship is gonna last because I'm a leader and I know what I want, and my woman's gonna.
So you're trying to say I'm not a leader?
I'm not saying that you're not a leader, but like I'm saying, like, man shouldn't listen.
I hope not, bro. I hope not,
well,
because that's not what you want to do. But
what do you mean?
Listen, man. The bottom line is, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You got an opinion on the way your relationship's gonna work. I got an opinion on the way women should be treated and the relationship should be handled. So let's move on, because I don't want this to get ugly.
Ugly about what? We're just having a conversation. Like,
yeah, I know, but now you're throwing jabs. You're talking about why I'm single,
and
you don't fucking know me, bro, to be talking about why I'm single.
Age, though. Like, you're talking about my age.
Yeah, because you're talking about me and my relationships, bro. You don't know why the fuck I'm single. I'm single because I choose to be single.
Okay, and that's on you. So, like, you
so
came
let's
at me
leave
about
it
my
like
age.
that. Let's leave it like that.
No, you came at me about my age, and I came about how I'm.
Because you're talking like you fucking got everything figured out, bro.
You're only
20.
Oh,
you
my
do.
girl is happy.
All right, let's see. All right, we'll see. God bless you, brother. I'm happy
she's the most happiest girl in the world. She called me every morning smiling because I know what to do and how to treat her and how to lead and how to do everything that I'm speaking on.
All right. God bless you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. Let's bring it back a little bit then. Let's go back a little bit into psychology, I guess then. Sure. Okay, we're talking a little bit about spirituality, being able to control our emotions, hold our feelings. That's getting in tune. Do you think men are more logical than women, or do you think we operate on equal psychologies?
I think you operate on the psychology that you choose to be on. I don't think that one is more logical than another, because I know plenty of dudes that are more logical than women. And I know
there's also mad dudes that's mad emotional, right?
So it depends on the person. Everybody's different, like a snowflake, man. You can't. That's a loaded question that you don't. There's probably not an answer to that, right? There's no facts that show that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you control the way you think, the way you are.
Now with Neuralink, though. it's interesting. I know. I'm playing around, bro. I'm playing around.
Neuralink is for certain people that could use it.
I get it.
Right? So it depends.
It's a tricky, slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
I know.
Of course.
How does one improve their communication skills? Right now, we're all able to be on, podcasts, camera. That's obvious because we have sharpened our communication skills. We've talked about our communication skills all the time. I want to know for the audience, like, how did you get to the point where you're open enough to even share, like, your story? Because I know a lot of people.
Vulnerability, learning to be vulnerable, and learning how important communication is through any relationship I'm building. Right? I wouldn't be successful. I wouldn't make 7 to 8 figures a year if I didn't know how to communicate. I mean, I got to do it with clients every day. I dealt with all high net worth individuals my whole life. I had to learn to communicate, right? I got to communicate with my children. I got to communicate with my family.
What does communicate look like, though? Is it just speaking? Is it like because
listening is the most powerful tool for communication. It's not about speaking. It's not about saying, just blabbing your mouth. You got to be able to listen. It's the most powerful tool you have with communication, because if you're not listening properly, you're not hearing what the other person's saying. You're not going to be able to communicate. So listening is the most, without a doubt.
Listening to what, though, and to who? Because you gotta be careful when you say listening, because you have half person who might be telling you what you need to hear, and the next half who might be telling you bullshit. So how you
gotta learn to cipher it out, right? You gotta listen. You gotta listen to what serves you.
So like you would say, listen to everybody, but take something out of what they're saying.
See, but so when you're listening, doesn't mean that it's registering and it becomes a part of you. You're listening so that you could communicate with the other person. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, you're stopping and listening. You're not cutting them off, right? You're really paying attention to what they're saying. You're being present in the conversation. Those are all powerful tools of communication that a lot of people lack. And that's why their communication is broken. That's why their businesses is broken. That's why their homes are broken, because they lack that communication. And what does that create? It creates toxic energy. Who wants to be in a relationship with anybody? Business, children, significant other, whatever it is. Who wants to be in a toxic relationship?
How do you deal with your toxic energy? Meaning, I'm not saying you're toxic. I'm saying I could understand that we all, as men and leaders, we all could relate. Like, we have, part of the emotional experience is anger, right? We have that emotion in us, and we call it toxic energy, whatever you want to call it, that aggression. I find my solace at the gym. I find my solace 100%. In pushing myself, whether that be running in the treadmill, finding new drills for basketball, doing pull-ups, whatever I can to really push myself. And I notice that, like, every single day for me in terms of, like, actionable steps. Because I know some people really trying to improve their communication skills, but they just don't know what to do. Like, everyone says, like, listen more and communicate.
Practice.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is what helped me, my vice, was finding that channel to really, I guess, to know myself as well. Pushing myself. It's kind of like playing like a game every single day. Do like 20 pull-ups, 25 pull-ups, 30 pull-ups. It's like using that toxic energy, but using it for positive. I actually think that's from Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. That's one of like the
Great book.
One of the theories in it. I don't even know if it's theories, but basically like you have like that ego or like that evil side of you, and everyone has it. That's what he's saying, and it's just about really harnessing that power, right? What are your thoughts on that? You think there's that aggression, evil in you, and if so, how do you harness that toxic energy?
I think everyone has aggression in them, right?
Right.
I mean, everyone has that, and it's learning how to control it. And it ain't perfect, you know. There's gonna be times where you allow it to get the best of you, but being aware of, oh shit, I just allowed that to get the best of me. Let me pull it back.
Just being aware is like 50% of the game.
80% of the game, you know, and being aware of what is the toxic energy in your life, right? And learning how, you know what, this shit is toxic. This doesn't serve who I am. Let me remove this from my life. I always tell my kids, man, like there's gonna be people that you meet and that you might be close to at one point, and then eventually they become toxic energy. You gotta love them from a distance. Don't allow it in your space. Don't allow it to interrupt your peace and who you are. If something doesn't align with you, if something creates that aggression, that toxic energy, that's not something that should be in your space. That's not something
Don't tolerate it.
Yeah, don't tolerate. Why? Why settle? Why? What's the reason? You know what I mean?
You know that quote, you are who you surround yourself with.
Very
You're
well.
the sum of who your best friends are.
So you are who you surround yourself with. Growing up in PR in Puerto Rico, growing up in a Puerto Rican household, my family had a saying which was, dime con quien te andes y te digo quién eres. Tell me who you walk with, and I'm going to tell you who you are. You want to surround yourself with people who inspire you, because guess what? When you surround yourself with people who inspire you, you're going to be inspired to do more with your life.
Yes.
So 1,000%, I agree with that quote, and it's real.
Where do people look for that? Like, how can people network or find people that can surround themselves with, you know, like that? Because I know a lot of people, they understand that quote, but they do nothing about it. And sometimes it's because they just simply don't know where to find them.
I mean, dude, nowadays it's so everywhere. Right?
So easy, right?
Come
it's
to
all
one
online.
of my events.
Where could they find your event?
Events, you know, whenever I'm speaking, I'll give you the schedule when it comes out next year. You know,
Okay.
but or go to. There's a million personal development events, right? I mean, they're all over the place. Everywhere you look on social media now, there's personal development. Guess what? Those are all people who are looking to grow, who are looking to do more with their life. Chances are you're not going to find toxic energy there like you're going to find it at the fucking club or the bar. Right? You're going to be with people who are looking to grow, not people who are looking to clash and bump heads and be ignorant and do ignorant shit, right? You want to remove yourself from those type of people.
So do you believe in work-life balance?
Oh God, work-life balance.
Does not even exist, right?
I think that it's not work-life balance. It's just life balance. How are you balancing your time? What are you doing to make yourself better? You know, where are you putting 100% into your business and 100% into your family and your life balance, or is it going 150 to 50? You know what I mean? Where is it? What does that look like? What does work-life balance look like to someone? To one person, they might, you know, their business might be more important than their family because they don't really have the family. So they're putting more into their work.
That's a great answer.
But listen, you got to, no matter what, you got to take time for yourself. You have to. It's vital.
What are your thoughts on this quote? I recently heard it, and I might butcher it up a little bit, but this is the quote. The world would be a better place if man could learn how to sit in a room alone with his own thoughts.
I mean, 1,000%, dude. 1,000%, man. Man, I take myself out to dinner at least twice a week.
Interesting.
Dinner or lunch, and I sit by myself.
Wow.
And I connect with my inner self. I connect with myself. I treat myself to dinner.
Are you like on your phone and just chilling?
Most of the time, some phone is on the table, and I'm connecting with God. I mean, listen, do I look at my phone once in a while? Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But you're just just eating
eating
with the
and just
chopstick.
eating.
I mean, I'm Asian, so I use chopsticks.
Hey, listen, I love the Asian food, man. I'm all for it. But yeah, I've learned to through this journey, I've learned how important that is to be able to sit with myself.
I agree.
And take that time.
You know, when I was younger, my biggest problem, I actually couldn't be by myself for a very, very long time. I had to negate myself with like just being out or just finding friends, finding something. I think it's a very interesting thing to think about. Being by yourself, it sounds so simple, but yet so hard to actually execute. It's one of those things in life where, and a lot of people mistaken there's some secret formula to life. I think life inherently is very simple, right? Things are simple to do, but it might be hard to execute. For example, if you're trying to get a six-pack, I mean, if I told you, you just have to eat 1 or 2 meals a day only, watch that. You have to run every single day, do six-pack, do abs.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. You do it for like a long period of time, but most people can't. Most people have a little New Year's resolution, but they can't move forward. They go for like 1 or 2 months, but they're not consistent with it. How does one be consistent more like you to get to that 7, 8, 9 figure level? How does one impose consistency in their livelihoods?
Stop making New Year's resolutions.
Just start, man. Just start.
Man. Procrastination is the grave in which opportunity is buried. You know what I mean? I mean, people, it's there's no perfect time to start. The perfect time is now. Perfection is an illusion. It's about progression every single day. Start with little steps that are going to lead you to that big goal that you have. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing about like, man, I gotta wait for this to start. I gotta wait for that to start. You're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Just
man.
start, man.
Just start. Just get it done. So what if you fail? Who cares? Failure is part of success. Fail stands for first attempt in learning. That's all it is. Don't be afraid to fail.
What do you say to those people that are afraid to fail because they don't want other people laughing at them for making a mistake? Because some people really let the opinions of some 1 or 2 people really dictate their actions.
You gotta let that go, man. Don't give a fuck what nobody says about you.
Fuck.
Don't give a fuck about what nobody says, because guess what? They ain't signing your checks. They ain't putting money in your bank account. They ain't creating fulfillment for you. And if they're gonna hate, let them hate. Hate just fuels your success.
What if it's not hate? What if they love you, but they have their own limiting beliefs and they're imposing it on you because they don't see themselves doing it, so they don't think you can do it. But it's not hate though. It's just they just haven't seen it yet.
You know what it's called?
What's that called?
They're called dream stompers. Dream stompers without realizing it. It could be your mother. It could be your significant other. It could be your kids. And they could be dream stompers. Why? Because your dream doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. Your potential doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. Nobody could tell you how to unlock your fullest potential. Nobody could tell you what your dream's going to be. Nobody could tell you what you're going to be able to succeed in life.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta learn to just, if you have that feeling inside of you that this is something I got to do, this is something I want to do, this is something I'm meant to do, don't ever fight that. Go do it, man. Go do it.
I fucking love it.
I mean, listen, man, in order to be selfless,
you gotta be selfish.
Gotta be selfish first.
Oof.
Got to.
I want to wrap up this podcast soon and conclude it. I want to say that I think the worst thing in life is unlived potential. It's wasted potential. For the audience here that resonates with your message, that want to hit their highest form of themselves, how does one go to the next step of unlocking their first potential?
Get Joe Rivera as a coach.
Hey. Where can people find you, by the way?
WithJoeRivera.com is the website. You can find me on social. All my socials are at With Joe Rivera. The biggest key to unlocking your fullest potential, I shared it a couple of times, man. It's
gratitude.
Connecting with the higher source. And realizing that there's something greater than yourself out there that's going to help you unlock that fullest potential. That's the first step. That's the first one, and it's something that a lot of people struggle with it. A lot of people think it's just go say an Our Father, Hail Mary, ask for forgiveness, or go say a foxhole prayer. Nah, man. Nah, your higher source wants to know you're building a relationship with him. He wants to know that you're taking this shit serious.
Yeah.
He wants to know that what he put you out here to do, you're really going to do it, and you're going to lean into him.
You're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, because you could look at faith and fear as the same thing, right? It could be fear is you feel both of them. You feel something that's there. You know it's there. You can't touch it. You can't feel it, but you know it exists, right? Which one would you rather lean into? I'd rather lean into faith, right? I mean, fear, you gotta learn how to face your fears, right? Fear could be two things. It could be fuck everything and run, or face everything and reforge your life.
That was a bar.
Dropping bars, man.
That was fire.
I should have been a rapper.
When you said that, it actually reignited one of my moments when I was actually building my own 7-figure business too. It was an e-commerce dropshipping, and I was basically reselling these China products. So I basically ran up the store, $200,000 months, $1 million, and then the back end fulfillment ended up messing me over because I had tons of customer service, headaches, live chats, a complete mess. Made the money, lost all overnight. And during that lowest moment, I remember I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right? Thinking of what other people would think, thinking of what my parents would think. Just like what am I doing? I remember during that turning point, I was watching actually an Ed Milet video. Yeah. I don't know if he said it, but someone said, you know, when you look at a half-filled glass of water, you could look at it as half empty or half full. There's only really two ways to go about things in life in terms of perspective, which is fear or faith.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that, or at least how I define it now is, you know, faith is the opposite of fear. You know, it's really interchangeable. Either have faith or fear. And I choose blind faith every step of the way.
That's right.
Because that's actually what ignites the thought to that, whatever you're looking for. And that thought becomes an action. Action becomes habit.
Yeah.
Habit becomes lifestyle. So that's amazing, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
You have any final words for the audience, bro? Or
get up and start what you want to do in your life. Don't wait. Don't wait to go and fulfill your dreams, because the most dreams, they end up dying in the cemetery. Don't let yours.
Wow.
Yeah.
How you gonna top that, bro? Mikey, any final messages?
Yeah, just don't procrastinate. Early, start now. Don't wait till New Year's. And if you got a girlfriend, don't fucking be vulnerable to her. That is it.